Hi there, it's Leslie Fightmaster, and welcome to day 19. So we're just going to start sitting. Now, if you need length in your spine, then sit up on the edge of a block or blanket, and you can tell if your lower back is kind of rounded. And as you sit up, if you have a tendency to arch your lower back like I do, keep the ribs drawn in, hands together, close your eyes. Take a moment to see what intention you'd like to set today. Maybe a gratitude intention. And now let's make our way forward onto our hands and knees. Walk your hands forward about a handprint. And then right away we'll come into down dog. Bend the knees and then start to straighten. And then bend your left knee and then right knee. So you're bicycling your legs. Keep the gaze between your knees or feet so arms and ears are in line. As you bicycle the legs, bend both knees, stretching the spine, reach the heels toward the floor. Then inhale, come forward, knees down, and exhale, child's pose. Keep the arms extended in front of you and the toes tucked under. Then inhale up to the knees, bring the chest forward, a little cow pose. Exhale into cat. Lift the hips for downward facing dog. Stretch back, spread the fingers, arms, shoulders distance, feet, hips width. Keep lifting those forearms away from the mat. Then up onto the toes again, down to the knees, and hips to heels. Keep the toes tucking under again. Stretch forward, arms are straight as you can make them. Inhale back up to the knees and arch the back, drop the belly, heart forward. Exhale, round the back, tuck the toes to down dog. Fingers spread, pressing into the base of the fingers, lifting forearms. Spin your outer upper arms, triceps back. Then walk your feet all the way up to the hands. Inhale, come halfway up and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Crown of the head reaching down, knees bent or straight. Press down through the feet and rise up as you inhale, stretching tall. Ribs stay in. Tailbone down. Exhale to front of the mat, Samastitihi, Tadasana pose. Find your Tadasana here. Press evenly through the feet. Lift the arches of the feet. Press the thighs back. Tailbone reaches down, belly's drawing in, widen across the chest and lift it. Inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bend the knees, plant your palms, and come back into plank pose. Knees to the floor, shift forward about an inch, hug your elbows in, lower all the way to the belly. Now interlace fingers at the low back or hook your thumbs. And inhale, start to lift the chest. Press all the toenails down into the floor so the inner thighs will lift. Keep the back of your neck long. Belly's pulling in. Pubic bone down a little, and then lower. Hands by low ribs. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to the knees and press up and back for downward dog. Keep stretching the weight up to the hips and reaching down toward the heels. Nice steady gazing point will also help with keeping your mind focused. Look forward and step your feet up, or if you hop, you could hop. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold hips over heels if the legs straighten. Inhale, sweep the arms up, ribs in. Exhale, Samastitihi. And again, inhale, sweep the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up, hands to shins or up higher. Exhale, step back to plank. Knees can be up or down as you lower slowly to the floor. Hug the elbows in as you lower. On your inhale, we'll Take the hands again at the low back, interlace other pinky on top or other thumb. And then inhale, peeling the chest up. Keep the back of the neck long. The shoulder heads will lift. This time add the legs. Still lifting from the inner thigh like you have a block that you're holding between your inner thighs. Back of your neck will stay long. We don't want to crunch it. Breathe into the chest. Keep the belly drawing in gently. And then lower. Hands by low ribs. Elbows point straight up. Inhale, cobra. Or come into up dog. Thighs and knees are off the floor in up dog. Press all the toenails down, then tuck the toes for down dog. So stick with cobra instead of up dog if that's better on your body. And then look forward. We'll walk the feet up. Have a block handy just in case. We're taking malasana. It's a squat. You can come halfway down or sit on the block with the block at the highest height, or you can prop up blankets or pillows, whatever you have, or maybe you'll be able to drop the tailbone down. But instead of letting the back round, bring the chest forward a little bit. Important for toes and knees to line up. So if your knees go out, your toes need to go out. If you can keep your feet parallel, then the knees will point straight ahead as well. Either one is correct. Just line them up. This is a great stretch for the lower back, and it's a kind of an acquired taste. If you're not enjoying it, I didn't enjoy it at first either. Then reaching the arms forward, inhale, slowly come up to standing, and then back to the front of the mat. Take a breath here. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips, Utkatasana chair pose. Remember, weight is in the heels here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, heart forward here as well. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, come to plank. Knees can be up or down, shift forward, chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows unless you come all the way to the floor. Inhaling to cobra or into up dog, always your choice. And then exhale, tuck the toes, make your way back, down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg back and up from the inner thigh. Exhale, step it up by the right hand and spin the back heel flat. Remember, if you don't make it up there with the foot, just put it there. Reach up tall, pull the right hip back. Drop down through the tailbone, pull the ribs in. And then exhale, interlace your hands behind you or hook your thumbs. Take an inhale, open the chest, widen the collarbones. And exhale, fold forward any amount. But pull your right hip back and make sure you're lined up with your feet heel to heel or even wider than that. Inhale to come up halfway and then all the way back. Reach the arms up. Exhale. Hover your belly over your thigh. Pick up your back heel. Pull the right hip back. Nice straight spine or natural curves of the spine. Then hands to heart and bring the hands down. Plank pose or skip it. Go right into down dog. Inhaling up. And exhale back. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step it up by the left hand. Spin the back heel flat. Heel to heel or even wider with the feet. Pull the left hip back. Don't let that left hip stick out. Inhale, warrior one. So keep pulling the left hip back. Drop the tailbone down. Lift your hip points up. Good. Knee over ankle on that left leg. Either hook your thumbs or interlace fingers, other pinky or thumb on top. Inhale, open the chest. And then exhale to come forward, humble warrior. Crown of the head will reach down if it will. Keep weight in the back leg. Only go as far as what's comfortable for you. And be sure that the elbows don't lock here as well. Weight in the front heel and press through the outer edge of your back foot. Inhale, press into the feet to come up. And then exhale. Pick up the back heel. And hover your belly over your left thigh. Continue to pull your left hip back as you do. And then we'll bring the hands to the heart. And take the hands down to the floor. Either go to down dog and stay, Or if you would love to take a vinyasa, you can come forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. You always also have the option to take the knees down and rest. Look up, stepping, or maybe hop your feet up. Take an inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, the crown of the head reaching down, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up and sit back in Utkatasana. Weight into the heels, and then to Samastitihi as you exhale. Coming back to Tadasana, take your hands to your hips. Come off of the right leg and take the right ankle just past your left knee. It's a little hip opener. Start to sit your hips back. Keep a nice steady gaze. You can stay right there or take your forearms onto your shin. Or a little more work, arms out by the ears as you continue to sit back. Try to keep your spine long here. And then hands to heart center. Chest is forward and back up. Keep the leg off the floor, extend it forward. Now hands at heart. We're going to sweep it back now from the inner thigh like we worked on yesterday too. Drop the outer hip down. It's a little warrior 3 and then back to center. Now we'll bend both knees and then take the left ankle past the right knee. Start to sit back in your imaginary chair when you're ready. So your hips will stick back. And then hands at heart or forearms to shin, or a little more difficult, arms in line with ears as you continue. The weight presses into the heel. And then hands to heart center. Slowly come on up. Extend the leg out. And then start to sweep it back from the inner thigh. Drop the hip down. The outer hip drops down. Warrior 3. And then back to Samastitihi. Now I've got blocks handy. The front of the mat, if you don't have blocks, maybe get something that you can put your hands on, like water bottles or whatever you have handy. Inhale, bend the knees into Utkatasana. And exhale to fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, stepping back. Plank pose, knees up or down, chaturanga. Shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale to press up. Shoulders over wrists if you're an up dog. Then tuck the toes into down dog. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step it up by the right hand. If it doesn't make it, please just pick it up and put it there. Walk your back foot in about a foot and take it flat. Line up heel to heel or wider. Bring your blocks back so you can have your hands on blocks. Then inhale, find some length through the spine. As you exhale, you'll pull the right hip back and keep the spine long as the ribs and belly draw in. Parsvottanasana variation. Keep pressing into the base of the big toe of your right foot. Imagine you've got another block that you're holding between the inner thighs. It's a nice stretch. Keep the chest wide and the back nice and long. Then walk your blocks up about a foot in front of you. Lift your left leg from the inner thigh, but don't let the hip open up. So drop the outer left hip down. Lift the inner left thigh up. You can check and see if your hips are level. Just wipe your hands across your hips like a windshield wiper. Make sure you're not rounding the back, but the chest comes forward. Then a little tiny bend in the front knee. Maybe lift up your palms to your chest, warrior 3. Don't let that upper back round. Slowly back to center. Feet together. Inhale again, bend the knees into Utkatasana. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step into plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, shoulder heads back. Exhale to the knees first or right back into down dog. Left leg up from the inner thigh, so not opening the hip here either. Step it up by the left hand. Walk your back foot in about a foot. Take it flat. Line up heel to heel or a little wider if you're wobbly at all. Hands on blocks. And pull the left hip back, keeping the hips nice and level. Inhale, lengthen. And maybe just like if you don't know what it feels like to hold a block between the inner thighs, you can just use your block there for a moment. That'll help to spin your back inner thigh back and keep that back leg working. Now walk your blocks about a foot in front of you. Little bend in the standing leg as you lift that right leg up from the inner thigh. You can check to see if your hips are level, little windshield wiper on the hips. Keep the chest forward. Chest forward, don't let the back round. Then hands to heart, little bend in the standing knee to get up there. And then you can straighten it out again as long as you don't lock the knee. Slowly, slowly step the feet together. Good work. Warrior 3 is very challenging. If it was hard for you today, just know you are not alone. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, look up, lengthen. As you exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and come back into plank pose. Knees up or down. Chaturanga. In all the way to the floor this time. Press all the toenails into the floor. Inner thighs will lift. Tailbone's going to lengthen toward your heels. Inhale, lift everything up, Shalabhasana. The shoulder heads will lift, but keep the back of the neck long so that you aren't compressing your neck. And then rest a moment, forehead to the floor, or take one ear down toward the floor and rest. Arms again by your sides. Inhale, lift up. Now this time maybe you'll lift the legs, take the pinky toe sides of the feet for Dhanurasana. The feet will lift up and then press them back. Continue to tailbone toward backs of knees, lengthen. Inner thighs spin up like you're holding a block there. Slowly release. Now hands by low ribs. Inhale, press into cobra or into up dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, make your way back into down dog. Look forward and step or hop through and sit down. Extend the legs in front of you, arms by your sides, by the hips, and sit tall. Draw the ribs in, so we don't want to be rounding the back. We want to be creating length through the spine. Then bend your right knee, take it from the back of the knee, and take the right knee out to the right. Inhale, reach up tall, turn toward the straight leg. Exhale, extend forward. Then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, extend. You can use a strap here to help keep your back long. This one is called Janushirsasana. You're going to lengthen your belly toward the thigh, keeping length in the spine. Gaze toward the foot or shin. And then head up as you inhale and release as you exhale. Bring your right knee up, extend the right leg out. Take your left leg from the back of the knee, bend it, and bring it out to the side. You can always rest the leg, the knee, on a block if it's up high. Inhale, lengthen up tall. Exhale, forward. Inhale, keep the length. Use a strap if it's hard to reach your foot, or hold your ankle. So what we want to avoid is a rounding of the back. If it's hard for you to hinge forward from the hips and keep the back of keep your low back lengthening forward, you probably need to sit up on a blanket or a block to help give you some length there. You might just have a little tightness in the lower back. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, release. And then we'll come sitting up nice and tall. Now, if you've got any back issues, then put your hands down. Otherwise, roll yourself down as slowly as you can. So hands down if it bothers the back. Otherwise, we're using our belly muscles to lower all the way down to the back. Bend the knees, take the right ankle just past the left knee, thread the needle, hold on to the left shin or behind the thigh. Flex the right ankle, pull the toes back. Ideally, your right knee and right ankle are in the same line across, so maybe you can draw the right knee a little bit away from your torso. Then, arms to a T, keeping the legs in the same position, draw them off to the left and look right. If that's uncomfortable for your legs, then make it more comfortable. You can choose a variation of the twist. Come back to center. Left ankle just past the right knee again, flexing that ankle. Bring your hands through to hold on to the shin or behind the thigh. Tailbone lengthens down as you draw the legs in. And maybe gently draw the left knee slightly away from the torso. The hips will stay level that way. Keeping the legs in the same position, drop them over to the right and look over the left shoulder. So again, if that's uncomfortable, you can take your left knee on top of the right knee, the other way that we do the side twist. Or if you know another way you like, you could choose that. And let's come back to center, making our way into Savasana. Tailbone will lengthen, feet hips width or a little wider. Let the feet flop open. Take your arms away from your sides, palms face up. Put a blanket underneath your head or cover up, whatever would make you feel comfortable. And then let everything go. Let's come to natural breathing, quiet mind and quiet body, Savasana. As you're resting, I have one of my favorite quotes today from Winnie the Pooh. I believe it's Winnie the Pooh speaking to Piglet. If there is ever a tomorrow when we are not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But most important of all, even if we are apart, I will always be with you. Take a nice long stretch. And it's great to remember in this challenge that you are stronger than you seem, braver than you believe. Roll to your right side. Take a breath. And then slowly press yourself up to seated. Sitting tall, bring the hands together in front of your heart. Let's bring our hands up to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. And our hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And then our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications, sending out positive energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Congratulations on day 19. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. You're doing an awesome job. Please tell your friends about it. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit fightmasteryoga.com and join our mailing list. If you can afford to donate to help support our effort to bring yoga to as many people as we can possibly reach, there's a link below or at fightmasteryoga.com, a donate button. Bye-bye.